Hi everyone and welcome to Apprenticeish, where we talk all about apprenticeships, kind of. I am a fifth year.
Oh my gosh, I'm a fifth year solicitor apprentice.
And this program is a while. Here creating this video, and it's gonna be all about my fourth year experience. Yeah. Last year, hands down, was literally the hardest year of this entire program so far. How challenging the year might be for you is very much going to depend on the team that you're in, the work that you're going to get, the uni you go to, and the modules you're studying at the same time. And then in addition to that, like all of the social context around your existence. So I've put all the timestamps in the description below in case you want to jump around this video. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Social life. Last year, I definitely believe that I started off so well. Like I was like,
no, this year I'm gonna do the most. I'm gonna be really into my socials. Yeah.
I can confirm that did not happen. I actually did really good up until June. When I got to June, I was like, I'm gonna have to reel my life in a bit because, you know, things are getting harder in the program, and also work was becoming much more intense. So the energy that I had to give to my social life was quite low, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. The first month was okay. The second month was okay. The third month was, I could see it getting in the hefty direction. And then like as time progressed, obviously it became more challenging. And then, you know, I feel like it did begin to kind of like even out, but not socially. I feel like I was a ghost. The events that I did attend, I'd probably say like 80% of them, I was present, I was there, I was ready to rumble. But that second half of the year, so from like July onwards, I did really bad with my social health this year. I think I didn't really see people as much as I needed to. There was a lot of stuff happening around me, which meant that I wasn't able to connect with my community in the ways that I wanted to. It meant that sometimes when I did show up to social events, my energy was so low I couldn't really be present. I'm so grateful for my community because I literally said to them throughout the second half of the year, definitely, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I cannot interact with you in the ways that I used to be able to. You know, I think going out, by the way, when I say 1 or 2 socials a week, if you think about it, in the 30 days that there is in a month, 4 times a month, girl. So I think that's something that we'll talk about next year, but I'm just saying socials it was lacking. See, there's this whole idea that you work really hard right now so that when you go into the future, your future self will thank you for it. There was some modules where I was like, no, like I need to protect my mental health. So I wasn't gonna like put as much energy into social life. I put more energy into social life. Those are the modules that I got 2 1s in. So that was an indicator to me that the math is a bit off, just because I think years 1 to 3 much easier. Year 4, the responsibility does I don't want to say comes at you fast, but you can definitely feel it in year 4. So the next section is studies, course and grades. The difference between 3rd year and 4th year, definitely the content was more challenging. I could see that they were marking our work harsher as well. Obviously, the grade descriptors are different and they're going to be expecting a higher level of work from you, which I could definitely see, which I think propelled and encouraged me to obviously put more energy in that direction. The course was, same as always. I think I have to admit as well, because this is a question that I have gotten before. After 4 years in the job, now in my 5th year, is it jarring? Does it become repetitive? Is it boring? Is it the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again? And I think to that, I would say personally, no, I don't think the work gets boring. You have to appreciate, if you don't like admin, is peak, especially if you're studying law. In any industry though, you are going to have to do some kind of admin. You can't escape it. It's gonna be there knocking at your door. Admin in itself, I find it incredibly interesting. I really like putting together bundles and reviewing documents and drafting things and looking at things and finding things away. I find that interesting, but that's just me. The studies because it's like constantly changing every single year, every single 3 months, 4 months, I think actually, you're learning something different. Requires you have to switch every single year. Well, in my firm, we switch every single year. Some firms you stay in the same department the whole program. And I think especially last year as well, particularly when I got to the end of the year, it was a beautiful alignment because I was studying civil litigation, so that's the civil procedure rules and how to file a claim and issuing proceedings, etc., and rules around experts and witness and all that kind of stuff. And obviously I was working in clinical negligence, so it was like a really fantastic, like the best blend of work and studying aligning together that I've had on this program so far. I think having to learn and study the same thing at the same time, it helped me understand clinical negligence and therefore like other civil proceedings, that kind of stuff. Now I'm in personal injury, so it's laid a really great foundation for me. There's a lot to learn. So I'd find it challenging to get boring. Obviously, that would be a very different story if I ended up in a department where despised that area of law, I hated the work, the team was unsupportive, the supervisors were that's like obviously a whole different story. But so far, there's just too much happening for it to be boring. The next one is, or the next section, topic area, is personal growth. When it comes to personal growth, I think that obviously is more of the intrinsic qualities. I recently, I don't know when you guys will see this, posted a LinkedIn post about this actually, and I'll put it on the screen for anyone who actually cares to read it. But one of the things that I learned hardcore, like that is a lesson that I will not be learning again, is if I don't take care of myself, it can lead to some very disastrous consequences. I just think like this work hard, play hard type of behavior doesn't work for me. I'm not even going to try and be like, oh, it's toxic or it's problematic. That works for some people. Some people are fantastic at, breaking their backs and then going crazy on the weekend, or that's their mix. That's how they balance things. I don't work like that, and extremely long periods of sustained stress is dangerous for my health. I'm saying all of that because I feel like it's a topic I've been dancing around quite a bit, but I've not actually addressed it head on. Working as a solicitor apprentice is hella stressful. There's no way to get around it. I think, in fact, anyone who works in law will tell you that there's some degree of stress. There's no way that you can get around it. There's constant deadlines. There's, many different kinds of commitments to clients, to people. You want to make sure that you're hitting your time recording targets. And I obviously don't know what it's like in other industries like marketing or architecture. And I know soon they're going to be releasing like an apprenticeship to become a doctor in September. They're trying that out. That's I say them as in like the government is planning a scheme or something of that sort. We'll link it down below. Unfortunately, there are times and occasions where that can be mismanaged and that can lead to some very interesting consequences. I think one of my learning points from that is I shouldn't wait until my body is telling me that there's danger, babe, like we're gonna need you to take a step back, or you need to deal with this thing. Like, don't just keep it in. Dead ass went to therapy, and obviously leaned on my community. And this is not necessarily to do with the fact that there's that I'm on this like super intense program, but I think it does speak to this idea that as an apprentice, life doesn't stop. I think sometimes when you go to full-time uni, particularly, and I would say especially when you live outside of your family or home and you move like up north, or if you live in up north, you move to London or something of that sort. I'm speaking
as if London is literally the centre. Anyway.
Sound like a proper Londoner. But I do think that especially when you live out, like sometimes you can live in like a microcosm. And so whatever's happening, you're in that like little bubble. Whereas I think because I'm so immersed still in so many different aspects of things outside of work, The personal growth point that I have learned from last year, being entirely transparent, is I don't think I could ever let myself get that stressed again and mismanage how I respond to different situations, different people. It is detrimental to myself and how I operate as a person. So yeah, it seems quite deep because it was that deep. I'm not even gonna, like, it just seems so serious, but it's a learning curve. It's something that I've not ever had to experience before, but now I'm on the other side of that. I'm not ever gonna go back to that space. And that obviously doesn't mean like I'm not gonna work hard or, you know, put energy into my studies, but I think there's a way to do that doesn't cause harm to yourself mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, everything. So yeah, that's my personal growth point for last year. If you don't allow yourself to process things in a healthy way, it will come out in a way that's unhealthy and potentially detrimental. So concerns for next year. I think because I've come out of the other side of fourth year and the intricacies of what was happening in my life, I'm not particularly fussed or worried about what's going to happen this year. I was concerned about working at a higher level, having to, you know, do really intense work. I will not lie, there are definitely some like back-to-back intense things about personal injury, particularly in the kind of work that my team is doing. I'm not concerned about that anymore. I'm not concerned about taking on more responsibility or working at a higher level. I just think at some point you kind of just have to mature. And I'm not going to say get on with it because that's a common phrase that's used. You just have to like move on. There's nothing you can do. Well, actually there is. You can react and respond to different things in a way that's more conducive of growth and gets a better and more efficient outcome. So that's exactly what I intend to do. I am excited for this year. I'm very excited to do more content for you guys because I have to be more organized. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to most is literally being healthy and being peaceful. My priority for this year is peace and health. Making sure that I'm okay. Felt like maybe it was bad vibes. I was making it sound like fourth year was bad vibes. It was hard. And my final message, because this video is getting kind of long, my final message, honestly, is to every single apprentice out there, congratulations for getting this far. And to everyone who has just started, hey, if you're new to the channel, hey, probably should have started off with that. Keep going. Stress is normal. Make sure you manage it in a way that actually relieves stress. Go to the gym, work out, spend time with your friends and family. For me personally, watching a movie is the most relaxing thing ever. I just want to sit. Okay, guys, I'm sending you all my love and I hope you have a phenomenal rest of the day. À plus tard.